episode 10 on the Bert Hatch. We're building the exhaust. We got the resonator in right over there. Once the exhaust is done, we'll get some good sound clips for it. We're going to break in the clutch, get it on the dyno, start making some power. So we got the hood prop powder coated by AB. These are the parts you're going to need. I'll show you the part number for that. That's the grommet that goes into the car that this rod pushes through. And then of course this is the clip that usually breaks. That is courtesy of JDI guys. They sent us that. They said, you know what, we saw in your video that you're missing that, so we'll go ahead and send you it. This is one of those little things that you don't think about. Again, old cars, this stuff breaks. But now we've got the nice grommet in there and the plastic piece right here. Good. Once I'm 100% certain the pulleys are good, then we'll offer them in the store. If you didn't see, the store is back open again. I must have had 200 emails. When's the store opening? The store is open. Hopefully you find the stuff you need. We're going to start adding more to it. Esther is going to run the store because it's her job now, not mine, which is good. Even though I'm still helping with the orders, Esther runs the store. Got Tom over here. Tom from corporate. He don't have a Porsche anymore. He's got a truck. Demoted. Went from the Porsche life to the truck. Actually, no, this is daily. Brand new Tacoma. Oh, it's quiet. Oh, you hear that? Oh, the blower is ready. Ah, it makes me want to put it on the dyno right now. Problem is we're literally out of gas and we're out of time. We both got to be home. Listen to that. Whoa. You hear it rattle? Rattle means it knocked. Oh crap, the mirror just fell off.
You break the mirror?
I was trying to adjust it because see out the back. So that was knock. It's something that is going to be tough to tune out on this thing because it's high compression and supercharged. And the supercharger, these root style blowers build so much boost down at the bottom. Like they literally bring boost off idle. So tuning that out on a high compression motor takes a little bit of tweaking, pull some timing out, and then put a whole bunch back in after the VTEC changeover. But that sounds freaking magical. It's quiet, which is tough to do on a supercharged motor. I don't want to gas it too much and get that knock. You hear that? That's good, isn't it? Yeah. I like that. Oh, this is like John 1998 all over again. We talked about it before with the CRX. This is as close as it gets right here. This is a B18 C5 block. It's stock, cast piston, so we're not going to go crazy with it. It's a B16A head with Type R cams, Type R springs. Everything else is pretty much a B16A head, so it's not going to flow quite as well as a Type R head, but it should do pretty well. Now this is a stock M62 supercharger, Jackson supercharger with the LHT intake manifold with the intercooler built in, the LHT Billet S tube, the LHT 70mm throttle body, and the best part, most exciting part, are the Griptec pulleys that we're designing with Griptec. Now this is a stepper pulley. It's got the unique Griptec coating. If you've watched the earlier series, you know what I'm talking about, but if not, just kind of bringing you up to date. This is our own stepper pulley design and size right here. No belt issues, no gummy belts. The belt tension is nice without going crazy. We don't have any slip. Boost all the way to red line. Now we're going to offer these pulleys in the new year. We're going to offer them as a pair. We're getting them made right now. They're branded LHT Griptec. It's going to be proprietary our pulleys, so you'll be able to buy them from us. This is the LHT header, 4x1 header, 1 7/8" runners with a merge 4x1 right here into a 2.5" bottom section, and then we have a 2.5" exhaust with a long inline resonator and a twin loop muffler. Intake is a 3" blended into a 3.5 with a 3.5" filter and a carbon airbox heat shield right there. That's it. Nothing really that special. We're looking to use this car to basically guinea pig these parts. Manifolds we've been selling for years with great success. The Billet S tube was sold about 20 of those. So much nicer flow. Everything fits, everything has more clearance. You can actually work on this stuff now. Great piece. And of course, airflow is much increased. And you can go up to a 74mm throttle body. Superchargers are getting kind of hard to find, so I'm not promoting to overspin them. With a Type R crank pulley, you're going to see around 9 pounds of boost. With a GSR crank pulley, this combination, you're going to see about 10 to 11. That's about as far as you want to spin it. Any more than that, the blower is basically turning cake mix.
Is it?
No. It doesn't even feel warm. So we're doing back-to-back runs. I want you to watch the air temp. This is run after run after run. We're doing about 10 runs in a row. Are you ready? Okay. So we are taking air temp from here. We're familiar with how the manifold works. The air is coming up, going around the cores and going this way. This is measuring the air after 50% of one core. So a quick drawing right here. This is the supercharger. This is the cylinder head. This is the manifold. Cylinder head is here. The supercharger is forcing air up here, which of course is hot. This is a Roots style blower, so they're not the most efficient. They produce a lot of hot air. So this is the way our manifold is set up. We've got 2 cores right here. This is where we're measuring our intake air temperature right here, which is on the back side of the manifold. So the air, you're only really seeing part of the temperature drop from half of the core. When we did our original testing, I did some tech explanations on this on Honda Tech some years ago. When we were developing this, and we developed a lot of different supercharger intercooler manifolds, we measured our IAT right here. So we would see, say, 250 here. We could get an intake air of about 140, which is a massive drop. Over here, we would get about 110. If you measure at the port right there, it's actually significantly lower because you're taking advantage of both cores. The 2 cores sit here. So we're only really taking the temperature really after 1/2 of the core. I'm not going to show you the numbers yet because we're basically still tuning, dialing everything in, but look at the torque. It just stays consistent. Let me show you the boost. The purple one, look how it stays flat. Completely flat. It's not dropping off at all. I mean, the pulleys have pretty much fixed every problem that we have had for 20 plus years with these. I mean, look at that. So we've been running this motor non-stop. We haven't shut it off. We're doing runs back to back to back. We've already set the ignition. Obviously, we've left the timing light hooked up. Cam gears are dialed in. The boost is solid, which is mainly what we're doing. It's at over 270 horsepower right now. But like I was saying, we're more for consistency. And the fact that it's doing it with a 2.5-inch exhaust and a catalytic converter just shows you that you can have some performance and efficiency. Water temps are just consistent. Air temps are sitting solid. We'll go ahead and do a run in 4th gear so you can watch these. We'll show you those live. Alright, so I did 277 and 201. The thing to look at right here is the graph. Look at that, hits 200 foot-pounds at 5, holds all the way It's a 7, falls off at the end. Pretty good. Bone stock B16 head, Type R cams, Type R bottom end. Listen to that. Hit the blower. Sounds like an electric drill. That's so cool. Oh yeah, that's what is so cool about the Roots blower. So it's pretty mellow. I need to show you the front. You can see the intercooler right there. But it's really a heat exchanger. These are actually pretty good tires. Toyo Proxy R1 Rs. They're pretty sticky, but 200 foot-pounds on a lightweight Civic CX. Should make for some fun, right? Last time we drove it, it was all creaking and rattling and falling apart, and
yeah, it didn't feel good.
It was borderline scary to drive. And it's about 100 horsepower more now. Actually, maybe a little bit more than that. So the exhaust is pretty quiet. Hopefully you're going to get an idea of that here. It's pretty mellow. Now, you're probably going to hear the supercharger more than the exhaust. Let me get here so you can get a perspective. We're only going to do like first, second gear because the brakes are new. They're not fully broke in yet. Yeah, you hear it whine. How is it?
Yeah, alignment is very bad.
Is it really?
Like the first, this doesn't do anything. Even though it's connected, it's like the wheels are probably towed out really bad. They're towed out or towed in bad.
Yeah, this one's towed out. Yeah, that one's pretty bad. That's towed out. That one's towed out too.
Yeah, it feels like it.
All right, let me have a go. Does it feel like it's got power?
Oh yeah.
Just wishy-washy power?
Yeah, exactly. Is the front end a little weird?
Yeah. Last time I drove this was a rattle and creep fest. All right, I'm gonna do a one hand. Oh yeah, the alignment's terrible. It doesn't do anything. Yikes. This thing's got a ton of response. It's like barely rolling into the gas. It wants to go. And the alignment makes it feel like it's got double the power. Let's make a short run right here. Like I say, I'm not going out in the street, so I don't have a tag on it. This is my conservative side run test right here. Yeah, supercharger having power all on the bottom is terrific. All right, second gear. To the tack. Yeah, bites the tires right away. Good, really conservative with the brakes because we haven't fully set the brakes. Nice new rotors, new pads, new clutch. I mean, we did break the clutch in pretty extensively on the dyno. That's why I'm only doing the low gears. There's not as much load on the clutch in the lower gears. So I wanted to show you a reference of how quick it build and boost. You see, it's already got full boost by 32. If we bring it back to here at 2800 RPM, we got 8.3 pounds of boost. So look at the IAT. It's still showing steady at 101, and it stays pretty consistent there too. Look, it stays flat with the boost. It goes up to 103 at the end. Youngest person ever to rev the EG. Is that cool or what? You know what? Your brother is going to be impressed because he has never revved up a supercharged car. He's only driven the CRX.
Yeah, who needs a pony when you've got 275 of them?
Yeah, 275, ready to go. Another way to test our supercharger belt system. Test it every which way. It's kid approved, mama approved, dyno approved.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Is that the best thing ever?
Dog approved.
We should bring the dog in here, make sure she likes it.
Yeah.
Get hair all over the belts to make sure they're hair approved.
So the hair will comfy.
Yeah. Make sure it's good. She can bite them a little bit. Chase them.
Rev it one more time.
Rev it again.
Get this guy.
So we have been torture testing this for so many things. Make sure everything is good, and it's rock solid. What I do want to do is pull the Supercharger belt off and just take a look, make sure there is no weird rubbing or any binding. As soon as we officially give it an all clear, I've already got a hold of Griptec. These are going to be proprietary LHT pulleys. We're going to get a run made, and they should be in the store either just after Christmas or just after the new year. But there's no issues. The belts are tracking perfectly straight. I mean, this couldn't be any better. We're gonna let it cool down, change the valve cover, put our nice fresh yellow painted valve cover on it. Basically clean the yellow. We got to put our overflow tank in there. The bracket, we just found it, we lost it. We just got to put the bracket on there, put the overflow. You see there's no water coming out, and we have to build our breather can. Good thing here is these have been wide open. We've done 40 passes on the dyno, and there's just a little bit of shininess on that hose right there. I mean, they're not blowing oil out. This has been terrific. So the motor is tight, supercharger's tight. I mean, 279 horsepower, 201 foot-pounds. I mean, this is terrific. Everything is looking great. Looked everything over, checked the belts, checked the pulleys, everything is great. Super happy with this combination. No boost dropping, no belt issues. So we've give Griptec the go-ahead to do 20 sets of pulleys. So as soon as they're in the shop, physically in my hand, I'll put them in the store. So you saw this carbon heat shield that we made. Well, the yellow valve cover we have for this, I originally had a black centerpiece. Right here is the valve cover, and this is an aluminum centerpiece, and that was going to be the original idea right here. I just refinished this in satin. Well, I did find this on Amazon for $10.99 shipped. Now, it's got a scratch on it, and for $10.99 I'm not going to try and trouble sending it back, so I feel bad. Someone's going to have to refund that. They're going to throw it away. We'll sand it down and re-clear it, but I kind of liked the way it looks because it kind of matches our carbon right here. Well, in fact, I liked it so much, and it was only $10.99. I bought 3 more of them. $10.99. I remember I used to pay a lot more for these back in the day. Well, the next one I opened looked perfect. There was no scratches on it. Like I said, for $10.99, if you know how Amazon works, if you complain about this, they'll immediately take the money off the person that sold it and make them pay shipping. It basically costs the person a lot more than what they sold it for than what they made. So this one is a whole lot better. There's a tiny scrape there, but I'll wet sand it. It's good enough. So what I'll do is when customers comes in, if I ever work on a B-series and they're missing this, or it looks like there's a problem, we'll just give them one. I mean, it's kind of the things that we do. But I like that. I think that's going to look good. We have a new valve cover gasket. We'll go ahead and swap that over. Now we're done with the cam gears. We can put the one missing bolt that's over the adjusting mark. We can put that new one back in. Vacuum down the system because it's a brand new compressor, brand new dryer, brand new condenser. Fill the system. honestly, then it's pretty much done. I don't know if I'm going to get involved in the paint, because the last time I did, it cost me a small fortune, and we're not known for paint jobs, so if I did paint it, it wouldn't bring any benefit to us apart from someone else would look and see a shiny car. You know, all it does is show that I can pay someone to do something. We're promoting LHT. We're not really promoting a paint shop, so I don't think I'm going to paint it. Unless, now, I'm not going to say never, just in case. I'll say I'm not prepared to spend 10 grand on a paint job because I really don't have the money. If offer comes along and we have an opportunity to get it painted for a lot less and it'll come out as good as what I did here, or even if the company that makes the paint and the clear, if they want to sponsor me, I'll paint the whole car myself. I'll paint it panel by panel. I know I can do it. I don't really have the room or the resources, but I know I can do it. But anyway, the car looks great. What do you think, guys? You liking it? Is the Bert Hatch what you thought it would be? It's dirty in here, still needs a good clean, but this part under here was where we were focused. Sometimes one of the things that we have to do on these older ones, especially this, the letters are not raised very much, so the distance between the lower part and this part is to a point where you can sometimes scratch the middle. You see what we've done here is tape off around the actual Honda word in here. This, we might have to kind of fill in these gaps here, because as you sand over here, you know, sandpaper could drop down and the material that comes off here could go on here and basically tear that up. So that's what we're going to do, is cut some strips in there, cut a couple of strips, and keep sanding, because look how good that looks, having a little bit of definition in there. Got to trim our box here. I deliberately let the carbon off here because the bracket has to be trimmed, so I want to kind of come right across there, leave that last rivet, hopefully it'll fit. So before you go ahead and paint a valve cover, I usually look at the letters first and do a surface, and then we'll know if we can cut them again, but that's going to look good. Looks good now, look at that. It's like a BMW. You open the hood and you see a nice fancy cover, you just assume there's a motor under there. Look how nice the picture is.
That's great. It makes me look really good when it's like that.
Call in the parts store. What are you doing?
Finishing stuff up.
He's finishing stuff up. I call the parts store. Esther is packing and shipping. You packing and shipping?
I'm packing and shipping.
Esther's packing and shipping, in case you wonder what we're doing. Last minute Christmas stuff right here. Yeah. George is still doing stuff.
Last minute Christmas
I don't even know if he knows
the
what he's doing.
tree isn't even up.
The tree's not even up.
No, that's gotta go up.
This is going to be a fast video for the tree because people didn't really get excited about that. We only got like 1,000 views. So that will be a quick video if you're interested in that. My favorite interior cleaner. I did the seats and I did a whole bunch of cars. I've been using this for years. This is going to need some cleaning. You don't want to just get this and lay dressing over it and make it go shiny, because the dirt is trapped underneath. So you want to clean it first. Use something with a brush that you can get in here, then put your dressing on. Might have to take that off and dye it because it's got that kind of worn look. Same with the rest of the inside. The seats still look great, but everything else just looks kind of dingy and dirty. Interior looks a lot better. A little bit of elbow grease in there. It's still old interior. It could use a few new pieces. The door panels, as you see, it's got that little bit of a wrinkly look where the fabric is coming loose, but we're not doing that. Now we got AC. So last piece of the puzzle really We'll just verify that it is cold. So I did calibrate this. Somebody talked to me about this when we did the Colorado and said, hey, this is how you check it and how you test it. And you can actually adjust it. There's a nut on the back. The person that told me that, thank you. I didn't know that, but I calibrated it and it was pretty much on the money. Or it is on the money now. What I did is I put it in boiling water, and we all know water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius for you Celsius centigrade people. And I dialed it in and did that, and it was only off just a tiny bit. Surprising how these little cheesy things are that accurate. But listen to this thing. I mean, what's better? Terrific. Let's see where we are. 45 degrees. It feels cold. Old fingernail test. When it makes your fingernails hurt, usually means it's cold. Turn this down a little bit. So the engine bay looks awesome. I'm super happy with this turned out. We've used this to promote our parts and to test them, quite honestly. That might be appearing in the future. The Billet S tube is available, the 70mm throttle body, the Griptec LHT pulleys, they're in the works as we speak. Super happy with those. That has completely eliminated our belt issues we used to have. So there we go. 275 wheel horsepower, 201 foot-pounds. Paint isn't something we're really going to promote. If it does come along, if somebody gets with us, we're talking to a couple of people. If that pans out, we might finish the paint. If not, we're not a paint shop. We're not trying to promote paint. I don't want to get involved in spending a ton on paint anymore. This is what we were promoting. So without trolling anymore, I'm probably going to sell the hatch. The more I think about it, I really need to get onto the white CRX next year and build that. That's the nostalgic car. It wasn't meant to be like this. This was going to be the car I was keeping. But the CRX belonged to Steve, a very good friend, passed away. That car can never be sold, and I can't keep everything. So out of the two, this one will have to be sold, not the white CRX. So let me know if this is something you are interested in. If you have any idea of what has gone into this, you know it's not cheap because I've just sunk a ton of money into it. It might be separated, might separate the supercharger, whole supercharger package, and leave the motor in with a header and an intake just as it came, the Type R intake, sell it that way, or possibly sell it as a shell. Watch the series, go in the playlist, watch the whole series, let me know what you think. Shoot me an offer, message me on Instagram. If you send me a stupid offer, I just might not respond. You know how that works. You guys that build cars know what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the series. Hopefully it's not a disappointment to tell you that I'm going to sell it, but if you know anything about what I do here, my personality, I live to build cars, not live to own a car. Once the car is done, I feel like I can't just stop and sit and look at it. I got to build another one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. See you next year. Have a great Christmas. And be good to each other, and don't forget, hit the subscribe and the like and the support button, which of course is the bell, and that lets us know that you're watching. Thanks, guys. See you next year. So you hear it whine?